Hey guys, how's it going? How are you doing? I have not made a life update video in about 5 years. The last one being an unlisted video of me quitting my music career. Me quitting my YouTube content career for making music. And yeah, and if you can guess from the title of this what I'm going to talk about. And if you didn't know already, from the title, I'm bisexual and Demiaroace, which, saying that, is going to both lift the burden and also create a new one at the same time in terms of whoever's watching this. Depends on who they will be, who they are as a person. But I've been questioning I can't do this. Deep breaths, deep breaths. I've been questioning my sexuality for a while now. It's only recently, a couple months ago actually, that I found out who I truly was. Like, I knew I've always been this way, obviously, but I've never really figured out how to label myself. It's been a thing that's been going on since 8th grade. I started thinking about myself as asexual, but not knowing about demisexuality and aromantic being labels, I thought that I was not on the spectrum at all, the RA spectrum, until I looked back on how my relationships and feelings for people developed, and how they all correlated towards emotional bonds, emotional connections, etc. And it just all makes sense now. And I was hearing the struggles of other people because I grew up in a church that was very hostile to being open about your like questioning sexuality, etc. Very queer, hostile church, and some of the people watching this may still be at that church. And the way they taught sex and sexuality specifically made me like kind of hate myself and thinking that something was wrong with me. And I would purposely try to be relatable to everyone else by lying about my struggles in order to fit in, because it felt like everyone else was struggling with something I wasn't. And I thought that was the issue, rather than me just experiencing attraction differently than others. And it's also correlated to this. I also realized I've been questioning whether I've been straight or bisexual for a while now. And that one's a bit more recent. And that kind of started a couple of years ago. But I've always kind of denied it. And that I'm like, oh, no, I'm definitely straight. Because I've never experienced attraction to men in any way, not realizing that bisexuality also consists of just being attracted to more than one gender, and that what I wanted in a person was not their characteristics or anything, but their character, if that makes any sense. And that it doesn't really matter to me who they identify as, more about who they are as a person. And I was trying, I remember I was thinking about I was thinking about it as a social experiment, how would my parents react to me coming out? And I found two pretty blatant answers, one through a family situation and one through a book that my dad edited. The first one was a family situation with my older brother. And his FTM husband, who hasn't come out to his family yet. But my dad was basically oh, we still love him, but don't approve of his lifestyle or whatever. I still don't know who my brother identifies as either. But at their wedding, his husband would still refer to himself as female for family safety reasons. And the whole situation still confuses me to this day. And he basically told everyone this, not just me. I was the first person that my dad told me about this. And it basically gave me my answer. And from there, I just kind of suppressed any idea of me not being straight, because I didn't want to have to deal with that situation myself. And the second situation was actually more recently, the day after I realized who I was, and who I am. I found this book that my dad edited. It wasn't authored by him, but he edited it, and I read it cover to cover, and it was a book made by a pastor at our church, and to say that it broke me would be an understatement, because my family doesn't know who I am. But it basically is it dehumanizes people. It gives themselves plausible deniability over their bigoted beliefs, and it is a complete washing of queer history to fit their own narrative. Is essentially what the book is, and I saw that and I realized what their playbook would be, and I realized it would not be the time. But by the time this releases to the public, I would have already come to them, and I don't know if it's going to be a positive or negative experience, but if you're watching this and there's someone from a church, maybe a friend, or someone I haven't met in a while, someone I haven't hung out in a while, I just want to know. Just get to know the other side, get to know people like me, and their experiences, and see them as human, not as objects or tools. And if anyone else is watching this who hasn't come out or has experiences to come out that have gone negatively, just know that you're not alone, and that I'm here for you. The entire community is here for you. And that you are loved, and there's nothing wrong with you. It took me 5 whole years to realize that. And it still takes a lot for me to accept that myself. And I want to live in a world where everyone can be accepted and not have to hide their identity for any reason. That's all. Thank you for watching. Stay queer. And even though this will not release on Pride, I hope we can all live in a world where everyone can be free to be who they are, no matter their sexual orientation, gender identity, race, ethnicity, etc. Thank you. And we'll see you later. Bye.